From the best-selling Christian Heroes Then and Now series, YWAM Publishing presents Clarence Jones, Mr. Radio, by Janet and Geoff Benge. Read for you by Tim Gregory. For information about other titles in this outstanding series, please visit our website at ywampublishing.com or call us at 800-922-2143. Chapter 1. Doubts. Clarence Jones stared at the latest letter from the United States. The letter painted a dire financial picture. The economic depression was continuing to deepen, and many people who had promised Clarence and his family financial support were now struggling to put food on the table for their own families. In fact, during all of 1932, the Joneses had received only about $500 in support. It was not nearly enough to provide for the family and keep their ministry going. Clarence and his wife Catherine had done their best to make the money go as far as possible. Clarence had taken 2 part-time jobs. The family had gone without some of the necessities they were used to, and had planted a huge garden in their yard. From the garden, Catherine canned numerous jars of produce. Sometimes that was all the family had to eat. But their best efforts were just not enough, and by mid-1933, Clarence received word that no more support would be coming from the United States for his family or the ministry. This outcome stunned Clarence. He and his family had given up everything to serve on the mission field. Was it all for nothing? What more could he give? What had gone wrong? Had God really led him to the mission field, or had coming to it been a horrible mistake? The turmoil Clarence felt about his family's predicament was made all the worse when an electric bill for $6.15 arrived in the mail. Clarence had no money to pay the bill, and without electricity there could be no ministry. Clarence could feel the knot of worry tightening in his stomach as he laid the bill on the table and stared at it. Would his whole ministry go under because he owed less than $7? To Clarence, this seemed likely to happen. Not knowing what else to do, Clarence walked out to the tool shed at the back of the property. He sat down and poured out his heart in prayer. But even as he prayed, the doubts kept coming. Slowly, though, his mind drifted back to his earliest memories as a child. He recalled times when there was little to eat in the house and no money to buy anything. Somehow that had never seemed to dent his parents' faith and trust in God. Now it was as if Clarence had come full circle. There was little food in the house for his family to eat, and no money to buy more, let alone pay the electric bill. Clarence began to think about how his parents might have handled the situation. Those boyhood days in Chicago seemed such a long way away and a long time ago. Chapter 2. A Member of the Band. 7-year-old Clarence Jones peered down at the crib. Inside lay a tiny baby with a wrinkly face. "What do you think of your little brother?" Emma Jones asked. "Howard's pretty small," Clarence told his mother. He had waited a long time for a brother, but now he was not so sure that this tiny baby in the crib was the kind of brother he needed. Clarence was vaguely aware that there had been 2 other brothers before him, but they had both died as babies before he was born. It was something his mother did not like to talk about much, but Clarence had overheard her discussing the family tragedies with one of her friends. From what Clarence had been able to piece together, both his parents had been Salvation Army officers in Duluth, Minnesota at the time. Winters there were long and brutal, and the only way his parents could make money to buy food was to sell the Salvation Army's magazine, The War Cry, for donations. Day after day, Clarence's mother would bundle up first one baby and then the other, and leave them to sleep in a washtub by the stove to keep them warm,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?